Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Tactical Breach Wizards, where today it's time for the hard part. It's time for how do you solve a problem like Liv Kennedy? So we got to get to the green zone, and on the way there we have to extinguish at least 3 signal flares. I assume that extinguishing a signal flare is going to cost an action the same way that like disarming a mine does. So that does seem like a pretty serious problem. It's too late to shake this chopper. Let's not distract anymore, though. Yeah, fair enough. So, how to survive. Now, we do have this massive knockback bonus. Don't forget, on the supportive fire from Jen's vessel. So, like, it is perfectly reasonable for us to like run up to here and just like boot this dude off of the roof. However, a big problem that we're going to have... Let me see something here. Let's experiment with the flares. Do I have to be orthogonally adjacent? Okay, yes, but not only does it not cost an action, it actually gives us mana to do so. Alright, that's interesting. If I shoot this guy off the roof before I move, do I have the ability to move into his space? I do, okay. So yeah, then this is like very clearly the thing we need to do, right? And then false prophet can solve a lot of our problems here. Because if we were to false prophet to a space adjacent to another flare, I was kind of hoping we could reach that one. But if we false prophet to here, he can paste that dude and then also extinguish the flare for us. And we probably don't want to false prophet again. Right, I probably just take cover this turn. The shotgun guy is going to move toward us, probably. We've already got 2 of our signal flares done. Passing with a point of mana up, I think... Yeah, I think that puts us in okay position. So let's just, like, aim the predictive bolt instead of going into cover. There's no reason to go into cover, and see what happens. Okay. That's not too bad. So how far can I run all the way up? No, if I run all the way up, I'm getting shotgunned. So we can run up to here, obviously dump this guy off the roof, and then just false prophet another flare, and we're basically good, right? Yeah, now all that's left is just to run to the green zone. I could have run further, I suppose. Last turn I should have run as far as I could because I was going to deal with the guy anyway. Yeah, that's an error on my part for sure. I don't think this predictive bolt's gonna get anything, but I do want to be just like moving as fast as possible, right? Because it's the only thing at this point that matters. No, I didn't quite get there. That's a bummer. All right, well. That guy's in cover, so we're not going to be able to hit him. I may as well extinguish another signal flare on the way out, although it doesn't really do anything. And in fact, we'll also get that one. I cleared them all. Alright, no confidence point for me, but that's fine. Zan's as confident as he's getting. That's a little annoying. Can I, damaging and knocking targets away. Okay, so I think that's a really shitty thing for him to do. So I think I have to not escape this turn then. Alright, let's false prophet. And then move to a position, blast somebody, predictive bolt here. There's something we can do to stop the res, but we don't need to stop the res. All right, and they do not currently have anyone on the table who can ruin our shit with a grenade this turn. Let's place a false prophet there. 3 bolt burst for my own self. And then, like, I want to stand in a place where he doesn't want to shoot the grenade to cover the green zones, right? So, like, right here should be fine, right? I could stand. Did I pick up the damage bonus on predictive bolt? No, but I do have a knockback bonus. My concern is that standing here, I'm not 100% sure that we actually get to escape. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we probably would. Okay. It's just, you know. Hey, it said the knockback bonus would apply. In any case, bye-bye. Wasn't necessary, but it was funny. How many defenestrations? Enough. Enough, it turns out. For fuck's sake, Zan. I gave you so many chances not to die to this, and you just keep bumbling back into the kill zone. Yeah, well, I've been taking you a lot less seriously since my friends all waltzed out of your last kill zone. You gotta stop remembering things the way you wish they happened, old man. Alright, that's a pretty solid burn. Okay, so experiment, combine abilities, watch the swap marker, rewind deliberately. Yeah, just do your best to make it work. We do not want to hint yet. We're not gonna hint yet. Alright, and yeah, just like do stuff. Do things to live. And presumably friends are showing up soon. Nice door. Something about this door seems so pleasant. We got a bunch of unsealable reinforcement doors around here. Yeah. Okay, let's... So is her shot ricocheting? Liv's time powers are fading, but with Reactor's tech, she's learned some of ours. She'll swap with the indicated ally when we try to attack her. And if she does die, she can create a clone to escape, but she's running low on charges. Okay, so what she's targeting us with now is superior chain shock. So yeah, it is a bounce. I don't really understand why she's bouncing it off of that thing on the wall. Like, it doesn't seem to me very good. So obviously there's no way I can set up a predictive bolt to hit myself. We're not actually going to be able to get over there to... Well, she'll swap with an indicated ally when we try to attack her. So the this is the swap marker, I guess? So if I... Well, when I have predictive bolt out there, I can't do other things. I was trying to figure out a way, like, could I stand somewhere, predictive bolt over this, and then shoot her to trigger the swap and do the thing. But I don't think Zan's going to be able to damage her by himself. So I think what we're going to do is just extinguish a flare for mana, take cover. Oh, she's just going to change how she bounces it. Well, I think at this angle... It shouldn't actually move me, right? It should just hit me against... I actually don't know. It might move me. Yeah, that's too far. Okay. There's 3 spaces. All right. Well, then, Zan, you need to stand somewhere elsewise. How much damage do you take? 3. Okay, so it's a 4 tile move. That being the case, it's actually, like, fairly safe to do this, right? No, I was hoping it would push a little bit more to the side. Forgive me, I'm not trying to be a big baby about this, but... Okay, so this push should be along that axis. Yeah, it deals 1 damage anyway. But it puts Zan in a position where he gets to pick up another flare next turn before moving. I think that's an okay first turn. We got to get some friends in here before we can do very much meaningful to live. The fuck are you doing here? I won your little revolt for you, didn't I? You stopped us. You helped us stop an invasion. Words. Hey, you know what's difficult sometimes is speaking. You helped us stop an invasion of Medil. You thought I'd just let you perpetrate your own? I didn't think about you at all. Yeah, you're not the first to make those your last words. Alright, I think she fully lost that battle. Okay, so now she'll try to swap with whoever isn't attacking her, which makes sense. It says attack. We just have to figure out like which things trigger it in which usable ways, right? So like one thing I'm really curious about is whether swapping her is considered to be an attack. Because we could make some use of that. Was she doing this turn? It's again superior chain shock. And it just like does a shit ton of damage. It's very frustrating. Well, sorry, it does 1 damage. The other damage is from this guy. Okay. It is awkward that we upgraded the damage of the 3-bolt burst last turn, or last time we had an opportunity, because now I'm kind of wishing I hadn't. So Dahl could, like, one thing I'm thinking, obviously, is that we can execute a pretty valuable charge here. I think I'm going to. And then we can... Oh, I was going to say we can charge the dude again to finish the job. We don't actually need to. And it's very easy to give her her action back because we have time boost. So I might just charge again over to the mana to get the swap up. Because I do want to experiment with it. So when I swap with you... Okay. Liv has learned your swap spell, and it makes a nasty combo with her lightning reflexes. Okay, yeah, this is just telling me the thing. Right. So she does count that as an attack. Okay. That's interesting for us. That does give us something to work with to move her around that doesn't require us to put damage into the space. But if I do this now, she'll just swap Dahl, yeah. So she does get to swap as many times per turn as she wants. But she does it when we target her with an attack. Well, this is probably not how I want to do this. Hold on. Let's stand here. I don't want to put the barrel behind her. So if I do this, swap a barrel, and then have Zan attack the barrel, does she just take the damage? Ah, it doesn't explode until after the push. He hasn't moved yet. So if I swap it here, so I can't, like, I'm assuming I won't be able to attack. Oh, no, it looks like I have a line. Okay, but that did pop a clone, and it did cause her not to be attacking this turn. So now what? We can, if enemies are targeting you and you swap, yeah, like we could swap with Zan to bring him over to a position where he can false prophet this guy to death. Just keep the number of enemies on the table fairly low. Although I suppose, like, even false prophet to here, with that being the only guy we can see because lives in cover, like, this should still shoot him, right? Yeah, okay, we don't need to spend the extra mana. And then I can just, like, I don't know exactly where I want to be, but I suppose I could just run up to here. Obviously, I just want to set up a predictive bolt across the doorway. We could have done that on this one either. They're the same guy. They're both fine. All right, we got some clones remaining. We're gonna have to come up with more trickery, but it's gonna be a little bit easier when we have more bodies. The thing we did there certainly had an effect, right? Okay, I like that. That's a good start. Oh, look, here comes the med school dropout who couldn't finish a simple job. Which is the best trash talk here? You know what? Banks isn't interested in engaging in trash talk. She is just done with this woman. You die on this roof, Liv. I think you know that. And when I am the only person on Earth who can bring you back, I'm gonna think back to our time in Liboli. You think I'm here to beg for my life? Take a better look at the state of play, kid. I mean, it seems like it's going pretty well for us, honestly. I'm not sure what she thinks she's talking about. Okay, so with Banks around, we got some interesting options. We still do have to worry about, you know, actually taking out the gunners and whatnot, but Zan is very helpful with that now that we can punt people such incredible distances. So obviously, if I swap her right now, she then swaps with, okay. Yeah, I swap her, then she automatically swaps. But unfortunately, despite the fact that that causes her to swap into a position where somebody's prepping a shot, and then she again swaps position with somebody into a line of fire, it doesn't trigger the panic shot at all, which really sucks. If anything, it seems like it should trigger the panic shot twice. That would have been really helpful. Grenades go off before she takes her action. Although I believe the grenades only do 4 damage, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on, when I do the swap... Yeah, okay, the guy does change targets immediately. Out of curiosity, not that I will necessarily stick with this, but if I were to send a false prophet up here... Okay, she doesn't avoid the knockaround effect. So if I were to try to shoot her now, she would swap Banks in. But I'm actually really curious what would happen with the supporting fire. Okay, it just doesn't occur. That's frustrating. Obviously, we have 1 use of transference. We can make something happen on that front. She freaks out if we target her, but what if I just throw this, like... Okay, she will respond to me throwing the sedative cocktail anywhere that it would affect her. Alright, let me not do that, that play there. So, with Banks... If I target her... Okay, she's targeting Banks with the swap, unless I am Banks. Obviously, I don't want to get cocktail on my dude. I wonder if I can change this too by, like, moving. Yes, she's targeting whoever is closest. Okay. So That means if I swap her right now, she ends up in the grenade. Which is certainly funny. And that allows Doll to... I guess what I'd really like to do is kill this guy. Like, I think Doll just moves to here. Zan puts this guy down with pure push damage. And then Doll has a hilarious charge. And then I guess, like, over to here for the mana. Banks has moved already. But if I foresee right now, she's in range of 2 grenades, so this will definitely kill her, right? Zan should be predictive bolting this way. No, the first grenade knocks her clear. Okay. Am I fine with that, or do we wanna mess with it more? I think I'm okay. Yeah, it's not like the highest yield outcome, but puts her down to 1, means we can, you know, next turn it's pretty easy to find a way to deal 1 damage to her just with a push or whatever, and then that'll prevent her from being able to attack on the next turn. And yeah, I think it's an okay start. And here comes, I want to say, Jane? I picked up your little spark trick. Fun beginner spell. What is this? Just mispronouncing her name to... Is this the best insult we have? Drop the act, Liv. I know why you're really here. You're using, and you think Reactor's tech can save you from the damage. Huh, nice theory, but I'd never used when I started this. Well, it might not be why you started, but it's why you can't stop. You're too smart not to see the problems with this plan. There had to be a reason you couldn't change course. Oh, shut up and shock me. Okay, that feels like an admission to me. All right, so this reactor chaser is kind of an immediately present problem. I sort of think I'm just gonna spend my 3-bolt burst immediately. Let's just solve that issue. All right, how do I want to deal with you now? I mean, I can have Zan. Probably don't want Zan to pick up that mana, actually, because like Zan has enough mana. Unfortunately, Zan and Banks are so far away. Like, it's hard to set up a position where I can predictive bolt the spot where she's going to teleport to. I can make it this far. And that column is just slightly out of range. What we need is a little bit of mana for Jen, I think. So here's what I'm going to do. Jen's going to grab this. And now Zan can reach locations. We could go like to here. Have Zan set up the predictive bolt. Obviously, we have a trivial kill on this reactor heavy gunner. Although I do... Doll hasn't moved yet. She could be anywhere. Alright. Now, if we just have... This shouldn't kill Banks, right? Yeah, it'll push Banks pretty far back. You just get to live in the corner for the day. I think that's probably fine. My man here has all of the mana in the world. But what we really want is to get some for Jen. And then, I don't know, this doesn't have to be very fancy. So we're getting a pair of super heavies next turn. Good time for Ryan to show up, I suppose. We gotta kill her 3 more times. That's rough. Where do we want... I don't even know where I want Doll to be, honestly. I'm just gonna put her, like... Well, no, I probably want her to be a little bit more central than that. She can get to anywhere, ruin anybody's day, and then, yeah, you just, like, don't have a play. There she is. We still got a contract to thrash out, Kennedy, and I don't think you're gonna like the kill fee. You guys hired my dog? Did you lose a frisbee? Oh, they can't afford me. Killing you's more of a hobby project. Guess it's hard to find paying work after that amateur tantrum you threw in Kalan. Alright, we're doing it, right? We're doing it. So... if I... What happens if Bank stands here where he does something? Right? Sorry, hold on. Maybe like here. What happens if Bank stands there and then we chain bolt Live to Banks? Because here's what I'm thinking. The way I would imagine this would work is it's either gonna remember the push that was on Live when it swaps them and push them the directions that they were originally going to be pushed, or it's going to give Liv a push in this direction, the push that Banks was about to receive, and either one of those should knock her off the roof. And then we also push Zan so that I get my action back. Yep, and we did that in a way that doesn't kill Banks, and yeah, okay. I feel pretty good about that. That is exactly why I thought she needed the mana, and it's exactly why I am inclined to still have her run over and grab more mana. Alright, let's talk about these reactor super heavies. My first thought is Rabid Bite. But Rabid Bite doesn't solve the problem by itself, as we well know. We will also need to get people into positions where the reactor super heavies are more interested in fighting each other than they are fighting us. So if I do super bite you, and then Doll does a swap, right? That does first of all shoot, which is great, but secondly it spends the action immediately. But we can just kill him with a super bolt. Yeah, and then this guy is in this position near the enemy doors, ready to hose people down, which I think is probably about what we're looking for. Ryan just runs to like a more sort of middle position. Jen can make it over to here. Grab some mana from the signal flare. We can set up our predictive bolt. Doll's in kind of a horrible spot. Yeah, I don't know what I think would be better. I guess I'm gonna run over here. A little bit more likely to be able to affect Liv that way. And what the hell? Diffuse the mine for the heck of it. Alright. So this guy should do a good job of helping us control the middle. Look around you, Liv. You're twice the caster I ever was, and you're losing this. You've spurned every possible ally, and now you're standing on a rooftop with no friends and a plan that can't work. I have a global armed response force and unlimited funds. You have amateurs in hats, although it's worth noting they are nice hats at this point. I don't think trying to convince her that she doesn't have backup is going to work, because the core problem here isn't really that she believes she's winning. It's that she needs this enough that it kind of doesn't matter whether she's winning or not. Look, how much longer do you think Gadden's going to keep you around once he can give anyone your powers? Yeah, it's like that. It's two versions of convince her that her backup's not infinite, or one thing that isn't that. So I'm going to take the thing that isn't that. Look, everyone keeps focusing on the hats. I have literally one ally who wears a hat. Depending on what you count as a hat. Because like we got the mask on Doll now, and you know. Yeah, I'm the one fixating on trivia here. All right, 2 clones remaining. Got another super heavy coming in, but no door reinforcement next turn, so that's handy. And this guy will already paste the heavy gunner, but not during the heavy gunner's turn, frustratingly. Okay, we'll deal. It's fine. We could do kind of a similar play to last time. If I just have Banks like run up here a little bit, so that when the chain bolt lands, yeah, because it's like if we chain bolt, let me move first. So I think what I'd actually really like to see here is a chain bolt pushing this guy out of cover. Although it looks like I have not achieved that from this angle. I need to have vision of you, but it needs to be like shallowly angled vision. This probably works. Oh, Ryan has to move. I don't want him being the swap target. Although, swapping her into a push that knocks her into a mine is, you know, it's not nothing. Where do I want you to stand? This is, I suppose, a relevant question. You know what? Right here, probably. Because we're going to use we'll use the vine to kill the heavy gunner. Oh, except that's going to block my chain bolt. Yeah, I need to be able to hit that target. Ryan, stand. Here? Okay, I think this works. So push you out of cover, then push you, then push you, and once again, if they swap angles, yeah, that pushes Liv off the roof, and it doesn't kill Banks, and it does mean the medic gets flattened now. And then when Ryan kills this guy with impaling vine, we have very few problems left. Doll kind of doesn't get to do anything, and that is a shame. And Zan just runs to here and lays down a not very impressive predictive bolt, I guess. I mean, we're getting the job done, right? Unfortunately, at this point, with Zan and Doll and Liv having actions left, I wonder. We still have Static Blast, so I'm thinking about using Death's Door to dump Banks somewhere. Does this work the way I want it to? Let's try something. So let's Oh, that's right. It takes mana to do Death's Floor anyway. Will she respond to transference? Like if I go protect you, hit you. Am I good with that? Getting rid of the medic is pretty valuable. Yeah, I'm fine. Right, a little bit of damage on you. The mana veins are already burning, Liv. In a couple hours, the resource you're here for will be gone forever. How much weight do you think I give the claims of the guy who forgot the pivotal failure of his career? Alright, forget if it's true. You know it's possible. Why wasn't that your play? Without the mana, we don't have the resources to keep the world safe. But the mana threat was your only justification to be the world's police. Don't you need a new Casus Belli for this dirty little power grab? I don't have to justify anything to a disgraced subordinate. Yeah, she definitely... I think that hit. I think that shook her a little bit. So if I just run Banks to here, and then I have Doll charge her, what happens? Okay, right. She doesn't absorb the push on that because she does the teleport before the charge happens. The chain bolt is different. Yeah, the chain bolt's different, but the reasons for it are kind of nonsensical. All right, whatever. It's fine. So... I don't like that their super heavy fires before our super heavy. That's inconvenient to me. We don't have any mana left for Doll. We have mana for Zan. We have mana for Ryan. Because Ryan can steal some of Zan's. But what's he even going to do with it, right? How do we position... Oh, I really do need more mana over here. How do we position Liv to end up anywhere interesting at all? Mana all the way back there. Jen still has one Gale Grenade left. So Jen can definitely reach that mana, right? Once she has, the question is basically just, can we set up that same Chain Lightning one more time? If I do this, have Doll run away, Maybe even just charge away. I'm just playing around right now. This is probably not like the final order of actions. But if I shoot like you, and then you... Oh, hold on. If I'm not shooting... Like, we want the third push to be coming in sideways, but I kind of wanted the first push to be coming in from... like here, maybe? So it's just pushing Banks, you know, into a spot where she has plenty of room. Okay, well that does kill Banks a little bit. That said, it also removed all my buttons, so I guess that's what we're going with. Command, Kennedy is down. Repeat, Kennedy is down. Requesting immediate evac. We did knock her off the roof, so I guess we just went downstairs. Holy shit, we actually did it. Yeah, I need a year off after that. And then Banks, yeah. Thank you, Banks. Dessa, what the hell? And that's what I came here to do. I was crystal clear on that. You have to bring her back. Why? Wait, that wasn't the bring her back shot? I get a little... I get a little mixed up, I guess. Well, what good does this do? It ends her. No room for escape or acquittal. And it settles our score. Do you feel better? I feel in control, I'll say that. First time in a while. Yeah, it doesn't last. Gone that track a few times myself. Victim to blood-soaked victor. And yeah, I'd take bloody over powerless every time. But right now, you've got a power I've never had. You can wash your hands of this. If I had that option, I'd scrub till the skin was raw. Look, we're not Liv. None of us are going to force you to use your craft, even if we thought we could. I could. Thanks, Ryan. Well-judged interruption. He couldn't. All right, well... I would. All right, that's it. You all miss out on my big ethics speech. Enjoy navigating this with the super healthy moral compasses I know you all have. It's on you, Dessa. What's it gonna be? She is a real danger. Also, she does have super cancer, doesn't she? But... I mean, she clearly didn't want to go out. And Zan, you know, several of them want her alive, and she's, like, very dangerous. But I guess the very dangerous is, like, I brought up the super cancer as a, like, is it even a nice thing to do to revive her? But the super cancer, I guess, does also somewhat limit the damage she could do. The question is, like, are we talking about what I think, or are we talking about what Banks thinks? Banks has been kind of undergoing a little character journey herself. But it's definitely going to be on her mind that, like, this is the chance. If you don't kill Liv Kennedy now, you don't get to do it later. Which is probably not true for most people. I am outvoted. Fine, I'll bring her back, but if she kills you all, you're staying dead. Thank you, Banks. I don't know every factor in the decision you just made, but I know it wasn't an easy one. Woolen's already bringing craft containment arrays up. We'll have her secure in 20 minutes. Okay, I mean, that's an approach. Mostly what I'm doing here is I am acceding to the will of my allies. Okay, so yeah, I considered each part of that to be a separate thing. Well, I just got word from our airport detachment. They've got reactor on the run. Word's spreading. They won't believe it yet, but once we get the footage out and the inspectors in, the heat's gonna bleed off. So, thank you all. We don't know what today cost us, not yet. But I know what we gained. We broke a chokehold that's ravaged my country for... Her voice catches, and she takes a sec. We took a target off our back that would have doomed us to a lifetime of wars we couldn't win. And we killed a new kind of monster before it became unkillable. An army that could have put global military supremacy in the hands of a sociopathic billionaire. Yeah, imagine. Off Jen's look. I mean, a worse one. So, thanks. I know each of you have been through the ringer lately, and you still made space for the right cause when you saw it. I respect that like nothing else. No one more than you, doll. Most people can't conceive of what it would take to step back from a fight like yours just to take on a second one. I'm one of the few who can, and I don't know how you did it. Medeal's got some tough years ahead yet, but I promise you, I'll use every ounce of my new clout to make sure we have your backs. Yeah, we'll take it, anytime you can spare it. Our brass will talk, but let's keep in touch too. Trust moves mountains while rank talks roots. And Ryan, by bringing us together, you've done enough for Medeal to make up for a lifetime of, I'm sensing, not really giving a shit based on your outfit. That's spot on. Yeah, I know you'll never be our soldier, but if we can count you as a friend, I'll sleep just fine. Jen, take this how you will, but you're the first person I've met who I'd trust to both write my eulogy and solve my murder. That's actually really touching. Wow. And if you ever fully realize how powerful you are, I hope you're still on our side. Zan smiles at something. Zan, you fill me with a horrible feeling I might not be doing enough to support and empower my people. And I mean that in the best way. Damn. And Banks, I don't know what you wrestled with today, but I know it must be dark to trouble someone with the mental steel I sense in you. You made the right call when it counted. I hope that sinks in. I imagine you carry a lot that people don't see. I hope it gets lighter. Banks lifts her head in a way that could mean anything. Can I just jump in here? Please. I just want to acknowledge that we blundered into Medeal with no plan beyond get live, and you very much took it from there. Of all the nations, factions, and Tier 1 casters Liv crossed, nothing could stop her till she picked a fight with Medeal. I think you had a lot to do with that. Moss laughs. Well, that's a wildly generous way to look at it, but I've learned not to fight back when being complimented. Gosh, that seems like quite a skill. How do you do that? Right. I imagine you're all wanted in your various countries. Oh, hugely. A death penalty in 4 nations and counting. Well, I think I can speak for the council when I say Medeal would love to offer you all asylum, and you a pardon, Ryan? And if your home countries come calling, they will find a brick fucking wall where our extradition treaties used to be. Yeah, I really appreciate it, but please don't start a war over us for at least a couple years. Hey, if it comes to it, I'm in the market for a new moonshot. Yeah, that's, I think, the happiest ending we could possibly have hoped for. Whereas, we does not necessarily include Liv Kennedy. She's alive. So she can, work that out to some extent. Oh, we have little optional credit scenes. Okay. Jen, you got a minute? I love the cat's goggles. I do not remember the cat's name, unfortunately. What's up? What's your next move? Yeah, I'm still mulling. Liboli's my best bet for PI work, but I need papers. I might see if they need me here. You? I'm thinking Liboli. More than thinking. I spoke to my documents guy. Yeah, of course you have a documents guy. A mafia illusionist. His watermarks are sublime. And did he sort you out? He did. He did you, too. I'm sorry? Banks hands over a slim booklet. Tessa, this is a Libolian passport. This is citizenship. Yeah. Oh, this must have cost a fortune. Well, mine was cheap, so... How come? Oh, mine's just a visa. You're not staying. I'm staying for as long as I have. Oh my god, Dessa, respectfully, fuck that. Go back to your guy and get a passport. I'll steal the money. What? That's stupid. Why? Attitude. That's like the main factor with health stuff, isn't it? No, that's comorbidity. Okay, well, it's gotta help. I've done okay so far, and I've been thinking about death the whole time. Okay, so imagine how long you'll live with a better attitude. Oh my god, I've made a huge mistake. Only because I'm going to be insufferable about it. They're adorable. I need to think about this by obsessively making and rereading notes. So, okay, this is still the same. Cat's name is Daryl. So, Kellen Investigations. With the new identity Banks gave me, I'm wondering about setting up a private investigation agency in Liboli. And this feels more like Jen to me. Reactors failed invasion of Medea left a trail of chaos. Casualties are just estimates. Many Medeans are just unaccounted for. I might see if Moss thinks the militia could use my tracking skills in finding those who are still missing. It'd be grim work, not a lot of happy endings. But if I can be of use... Yeah, so this is 100% just like... This is like Jen wrestling with the space between like what she wants and what she feels she should do. And it's not like we wouldn't be helping people with Kellen Investigations. Obviously, given her, you know, her particular moral compass and sort of her entire way of being. She's going to be helping people who need it. Also, she's got like tracking skills, but her tracking skills, I feel like they're much more social. Well, okay, I was going to say it's a lot more like investigation, not wilderness tracking. But right, I forgot about the magic bone thing. I mean, the military's good at that, right? That's kind of their whole thing. I don't know that this is what Jen would think, or rather, because I think this isn't what Jen would choose herself, I'm going to choose start my own agency because I think she deserves it. Yeah, I bet it's easier to get a PI license in Liboli. And what about you, Dessa? Wait, did you edit one of mine? Yeah, that does say something different. Sent you a pic. Please update. Okay. Death Care Incorporated. Necromantic life insurance at brutal prices. I always had this plan to fleece billionaires for emergency health care. Just a contract that says I'll show up and res them if they get taken out. The hard part was proving my power without getting kidnapped. After the Medea fiasco, though, the right people probably know what I can do. I mean... what's the item that's still on? Oh, Banks and Kellen. I see. We fixed it. The only case I ever saw you crack, your quarry was dead before you got there. I could help with that. Because you killed him, we can bicker about technicalities once we've agreed on my hourly rate. Oh, this is going to be a train wreck. Well, it's exactly the thing that should happen, though. I think this is what they both need. You're going to need help with all the bodies. Yeah. This is what's best for both of them, if not necessarily what is, you know, required of them. Banks and Kellen is not like required, again, because it's not like she's not helping people. Banks and Kellen, hold on, can I back it up a little bit? Banks and Kellen Investigations was a disaster at first, but after a few months of bickering, they found their groove and even turned a profit. I mean, that's not the part I'm most concerned about. We do not find celebrities. Yeah. If we do bring a loved one back from the dead, our adjusted fee may meet some definitions of exorbitant. Is that the most fanfiction-y ending? Yeah, I guess, maybe. But I do really feel like it's what they need. I think it's what gives Banks the best chance. So, back to Kalan. Of course. Same old. Well, maybe not. Command want me in on strat meetings now. Might just be PR fluff. Yeah, you don't strike me as the type to step back either way. Fair read. But there's a doll you never met. She gets a say. You? I don't know. I might deep six that reactor guy. Just for shits and giggles. Gadden, the CEO? Yeah. Want to stretch my legs a bit, take on a challenge, work my way again. Well, if it's a challenge you want, I know a place where the churches are forts and the clergy all carry. Not short of high-value targets there. How's the pay? Guess I got two options. So, yeah, we could just go back to the front lines, sort of refuse the quote-unquote promotion, if it is indeed a real promotion. I learned more in Medill than I thought I ever could. Maybe I take these skills to the streets and hit the chapel like they've never been hit before. Or resistance leadership. What Jita would have wanted, maybe? I hear Jita's voice clearer than ever these days, and he's telling me I've risked enough. The Medill job gave me enough clout to go into command if I want to. But is that where I'll move the needle? See, I think for her, the call of of duty is a lot stronger than it was for Jen. Like, I feel a lot more motivated to put her where she thinks she will do the most good. But it's tough to say where that would be. And I guess the question here is a little bit like, listen to Jita more or listen to myself more? Well, I don't even know if that's true. I guess a way to think about it is there's probably like one Jita vote and half a doll vote over here versus half a doll vote over here. And this is how math works. Yeah, Jita had a point, and who knows? Maybe I'll have a bigger impact too. And then Ryan, whose last name we do not know. What's it going to be, Ryan? Kennedy got hers, but Reactor ain't off my shit list yet. Even if Liv cooked the worst of their shitstorm, the buck still stops with Gadden. Kennedy had space-time bent around her carbon fiber wand. Gadden's got an overpriced suit and liver disease. Piece of piss. Or we could just go after the first chaplain instead. I won't lie, Doll's got my interest piqued about chapel targets. The first chaplain's top of the food chain, untouchable, locked away in some deep dark vault. I never could resist a challenge. I feel like this one feels like a lot less of a choice. The way they've written this, it's like, well, this guy's gonna die anyway, and it would be boring to kill him. While over here, we have an interesting challenge that maybe nobody else can even do. It feels like both from a doing the right thing standpoint, for doing the most right thing, because I do think killing both of these people is good. But from a doing the most right thing standpoint and from a what does the character want the most standpoint, like both things lead this way, right? Chaplain sounds like a tough nut to crack. I can't resist. Also, like, it's one thing to decapitate an organization like this while they're under military pressure and stuff. Like, this might do some lasting good. This is just gonna, the next guy on the board of directors is gonna step up to be CEO. Like, you don't kill a corporation by killing its CEO. Which is not to say that you can't kill one. Or it's also not to say that you shouldn't kill a CEO. From a legal perspective, I have no recorded opinion on either of those things. Doll Sabin was the architect of some of the chapel's most critical defeats in the next few years. She didn't miss the action. Hell yeah. Ryan joined Doll on her return to Kalan, then vanished without a word. The first chaplain was never seen again. Who knows what happened? Could have been anything. Maybe they decided to, go have a picnic together or something. I am curious where Zan ends up after all this. This is where I saw it. 8 tons of concrete, 1,000 names on each side. Memorial to a war that hadn't happened yet. And never will now. Can't be more than 200 here. 132. I read them all. Well, down from 4,000. Gotta feel pretty good about that. Yeah, you'd think, right? Didn't expect to feel happy in a graveyard, but I thought seeing where it ought to be. You're not beating yourself up about the 132. That's not on you. We did everything we could. No, I get that. The kid on the Jodasa job? Him for sure. I'll carry him to my grave. But it's also just, having lived through it all now, seen it play out, I was a bit player. So many incredible people did so much more, gave so much more. And now I feel like I came to a graveyard for a victory lap, one I didn't earn. No, that's Liv thinking. It's human to want to see the difference we made. Victory isn't yours or theirs. You helped, I helped. Own that, nothing more. Yeah, you're right, as usual. Thanks. Trial's dragging on, huh? Yeah, it's killing me. I want to be done feeling ways about Liv Kennedy. I didn't mean to dredge. No, it's not you. I have this flash sometimes. I don't know if it's foresight or a dream. She's dead, don't know how. And I drop her dog tags right here with all these names. I don't know why. Well, these names, they're the ones we couldn't save, even when we did everything we could. They're on her. Yeah, I guess. Maybe you're saying her fate is, too. You're taking it off your conscience. How does it end? They fall off. Okay, well, let's not read too much into that. I guess it's just me left. And I think I might just be done. I made what peace I can with the Jodasa snafu, but I can't lead a unit again, and I'm just tired. My brain's been processing 2 or more realities for most of a 30-year career, and I'm only just starting to learn how many circuits that's fried. And I could find a nice little place in backcountry Liboli, maybe move Ma somewhere close. Just find something simple to focus on. Bread's good. I could bake bread. But the resistance is led on military experience, and that's the one thing I've got in spades. I don't have it in me to fight another war, but Dahl says Command could use me as a consultant, planning ops like the civil tongue hit I advised on. Gosh. The thing about Zan is that I just like... And this isn't necessarily a thing about the character so much as it's a thing about the writing about around the character. Like, I don't know anything about him aside from his military work. And, you know, there's a version of this guy, and I think we probably have all known some version of this person, where, like, they get into something and their career becomes the whole thing for them, and they kind of don't have anything outside of that. And that does seem like it could be Zan. But it could also just be that he's so focused on the what's going on now and carrying so much guilt about it that it's so like upfront and present for him that we just don't see all of the other stuff. It feels to me like he'd go out of his goddamn mind baking bread, is what I'm saying. But I don't know if that's really him or just kind of like the exigencies of the situation. We're going this way because of it, though. Well, I'd like to be useful if I can. And I guess that's everyone. One last look before we all split. Yeah, I think we've done as right by these people as we possibly can. I guess that's really what the Jen and Dessa thing comes down to, is this feels like it's not them so much as it's me. And because of that, I feel a responsibility to help them out. Zan Vesker taught tactics to resistance recruits for 2 years, leading to significantly reduced losses. He and Dahl became lifelong friends. And see, I think that's real good for him too. That's kind of what I was hoping, was that he would hook up with her, and not like hook up, obviously, but but what about Steve Clark, who did survive that final encounter? Of course, once I realized Kennedy's plan, I knew I had to play along until I was in a position to sabotage it. Now, by this point, I had her wrapped around my little finger, so I manipulated her into posting me to guard the vault. I know, a waste of my combat talents, right? But what you're missing, and she missed it too, is that I was positioning myself to help you guys destroy the mana when the time came. That was when I had the idea to use breach glyphs to drop the vault stash down to the mines, and to mind control our pyromancer, who worshipped me anyway. Does he know we can't hear him? I'm not sure he's even noticed I left the room. He's been at it for 20 minutes. What did you ask? His name? If he does get some version of that story across, he'll be contradicted enough by Jen's testimony that it won't matter, hopefully. Thanks so much for playing. This game took us an unspeakably long time to make. It is something they were at for quite some time. We put a ton of love and hope and care and joy into it. You know, and honestly, it feels like it. Yeah. So that's this thing. That's this whole thing. Oh, a new mission unlocked. Welcome to Tactical Beach Wizards. Is the mission Tactical Beach Wizards? We got some proving grounds here. These as survival challenges, these are just like keep going forever type things, or I'm not sure. So these are like real levels though. You know, we'll take a look at this stuff. It's not gonna be right this second. Obviously, we are just about out of time for today. I had a wonderful time with that. I thought that was really, really excellent. And it appears we're not quite done. So that's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time, there's a few more dreams to explore, and we'll see you then.